just watched the new Super Mario Bros. Movie and I encourage you to do the same thing. So the good folks over at Illumination Studios are apparently taking a break from torturing parents with their Minions movies and are now adapting one of the most popular video game franchises in human history, the Mario franchise. To make a long story short, I thoroughly enjoyed the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Is it a masterpiece? Of course not. This is not the next Spirited Away. You don't have to worry about that, but it could have been much, much, much worse considering the studio that produced it. Honestly, if you're just looking for a fun hour and a half with your children, or if you're a Mario fan, then I encourage you to watch this movie. The plot is about as simple as physically possible. Bowser has stolen the gold Mario Star and is now threatening to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom unless Princess Peach agrees to marry him. Peach, in response, tries to broker an alliance with the Kongs of the Jungle Kingdom in order to oppose Bowser and his armies. Meanwhile, the brothers Mario and Luigi are being magically transported from their home in Brooklyn to this realm of the magical kingdoms, but unfortunately are being separated. Luigi gets captured by Bowser, and so Mario joins forces with Peach and they try to save his brother. Now, I could go into more detail here, but honestly, it doesn't matter. The movie isn't about plot and it really isn't about its characters either. It just wants you, the audience, to have a good time and to deliver some fun, family friendly fan service, which it undoubtedly succeeds at. Okay, so I know I just said that the characters don't really matter, but I still want to talk about them a little bit as well as the performances of their voice actors. Let's start with the title character himself. Mario is your classic underdog who goes on a hero's journey. He's never really the smartest or the strongest in the room, but he's very resourceful, he's heroic, never gives up, and thus very endearing to the audience. And honestly, Chris Pratt, despite all the backlash he receives, does a pretty good job, probably because he doesn't have to speak in the Italian accent for the whole movie. If I had to summarize the character of Princess Peach in a single word, I would describe her as supportive. Obviously, she's the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom, so she has to rule over a lot of subjects, but she's just always a nice person, which makes her absolutely a lovely character to watch. She's a great ruler, she's supportive for Mario and his struggles. She's supportive for Luigi, even though she doesn't meet him until the very end of the movie. She is respectful towards the Kongs, even though they look down upon her. And also, she can kick ass, which is always a positive in my book. Anya Taylor Joy, despite the fact that this is basically the opposite of the roles that she usually plays, does a fantastic job. And yeah, I would like to see her in more movies like this. Luigi, on the other hand, has probably the most straightforward and simple character arc in the entire movie, but it also has one of the biggest payoffs. He starts out the movie as Mario's timid younger brother and fellow plumber, and ends the movie as a hero who fights side by side with his brother and helps to defeat Bowser. Charlie Day obviously, as always, gives 110%, which makes it all the more sad that he isn't in a lot of the movie. But if you want to know who the most fun character in the whole movie is, then I have to say the King of the Koopas himself, Bowser, played to perfection by Jack Black. Bowser is such a cartoonish villain. It's honestly amazing to watch. The contrast between what he wants and how he goes upon achieving his goal is just so fun. I don't understand how Jack Black can be such an energetic person in every single situation, but he is the perfect casting for Bowser. Also, as a side note, his song Peaches didn't have to go that hard, but I'm so glad that it did. I hope it gets nominated for an Oscar, and honestly, I watch it every single day on YouTube now. It goes that hard. There is also another thing I want to quickly touch upon. I am not the biggest Super Mario Bros. Fan. I've played some of the games like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Donkey Kong Country, and a couple others, but I'm not a super fan. I didn't get every single reference that the movie threw at me, and I still thoroughly enjoyed the movie because it's not necessary to understand what's going on. The plot is passable. The characters are very enjoyable, and the movie is just fun. The jokes are pretty good, and even if one doesn't land, there are always 10 more in the pipeline, and eventually you will laugh at something. My personal favorite was Lumily, the nihilistic blue Luma, which was being held prisoner by Bowser throughout the whole movie. She constantly talks about how she wants to die with a smile on her face and a childlike innocence. And it's so bizarre, but it weirdly fits the tone of the movie perfectly. Critics didn't really like the movie, but they didn't hate it either. But the public absolutely adored it. And as I'm recording this script, the movie just surpassed $900 million at the box office and will probably break $1 billion, which basically guarantees that sequels are going to happen. And if they are as good as this one, I will definitely watch them. And I encourage you to watch this movie as well. It gets a thumbs up from me. Go take your children, go to the cinema, and help this movie become even more of a success than it already is. It seems like the times are finally changing over in Hollywood when it comes to video game adaptations. Gone are the days when directors and writers were tasked to adapt video games that they had absolutely no idea of and result in slugs such as Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, and many others. Now we are pretty much getting bangers every other week. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, the two Sonic movies, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, The Last of Us on HBO, and of course Arcane on Netflix, my personal favorite TV show currently in production. All of these are based on video games and they are all beloved by critics and audiences alike. And if they do well, then we could get more video game adaptations with hopefully, fingers crossed. But the success of the Mario movie and others like it will hopefully be a stepping stone in the right direction. And if you want to be a stepping stone in the right direction to help this channel be successful, like that segue, then you can subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notified whenever I release a new video, like the video, comment down below, share it with your friends. I don't know what I'm talking about. Click the link down in the description box and go to my Patreon page to support me directly if you want. And yeah, just do any of these things and I would be happy. I'm a small channel and I need all the help that I can get. Uh, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!